Taking part tonight are the Brainy family from Croydon. Mr. Giles Brainy is a quantity surveyor.
Hello.
His wife, Serena Brainy, is a quantity surveyor.
Hello.
And their children are Julian, 16, and Nigel, 15, who are quantity surveyors.
Hello.
Into the lists against them are the Smart Arse family from Cambridge. Mr. Giles Smart Arse is a quantity surveyor. His wife Serena Smart Arse is a quantity surveyor. And their children are Julian, 16, and Nigel, 15, who are both quantity surveyors. We're now going to show you a perfectly ordinary BBC programme about quantity surveying. Mr. Smart-Ass, how many quantity surveyors were to the left of the bird with the big tits?
25.
In bag?
Oh, yes. Please, yes. In the back.
Yeah?
Have you got something about that long? Sort of that thick. Made of wax.
Yeah?
Well, you better light it then. We're cutting your electricity off.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Yes.
Did anyone see you entering your house?
No?
Milord, there's one thing very vital lacking from Mrs. Pinterman's account so far, and that is the alibi. The alibi is what we're looking for. So where is the alibi?
What is the alibi?
Yes, Mr. Davis, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court the precise meaning of this word.
An alibi, my lord, is defined as being a plea that when an act took place, one was elsewhere.
Oh, an alibi.
Is that what you mean, Mr. Davis?
My lord, are we going to let phonetic discrepancies deter us from the facts? The facts are no one saw Mrs. Pinterman entering her house, and ultimately she has no alibi.
She has no alibi.
Aha, even my learned counsel for the defense admits it. His client is guilty.
What are you talking about?
Gwilt! Gwilt! Why, even her very identity is in doubt. Mrs. Pinterman, have you or have you not in the past gone under an alias? What? Have you used an alias, my lad? The question is crucial.
But we don't understand the question, Mr. Davis. What is an alias?
An alias? An alias? I scarcely believe my ears. It's a common enough legal term.
I've never heard of it.
You'll have heard any number of standard reference works. Goldsmith, Armitage, and Berlin. Teach Yourself Law, Book 4. The Open University Criminology Course, Part 1. The Perry Mason Book for Boys, 1962. An alias is defined as the assumption of an alternative identity for nefarious purposes.
Nefarious purposes?
Precisely, my lord. We have heard it all end. That this woman visited her spoliums on that fatal night.
Fatal night.
And her whole testimony is little more than a tissue of lies.
A tissue, a tissue.
Yes, my lord.
Quiet! This case has been one of the most difficult and embarrassing of my long career. You are an evil and malicious young trollop who has willfully committed an evil crime, and yet you have come to this court and without any consideration forced this unfortunate young man to behave like a cross between a human vegetable and Ronnie Barker. You are someone who wantonly thrusts herself upon men for sexual fantasy wherever you may find them. Perhaps you'd like to join me for lunch.
Give me a light coffee, please.
Cappuccino, espresso?
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Mrs. Thatcher has again intervened to stop British athletes going to Moscow.
And fears for President Carter's sanity increase after he was seen at a protest rally calling for his own resignation.
Even for international statesmen, dental hygiene can be a real problem. Come the big day, other world leaders keep their distance. In today's world, halitosis and trench mouth can make the difference between peace and war. It took a Nobel Prize winner to crack the problem. And now, with Dr. Menachem Begin's kosher gum salve, you can feel confident. When it matters, time after time. Let Dr. Begin put your money where your mouth is. Works for armpits, too. And now lot 174, gentlemen. The Cayman Penny Blue. And I don't think I need to say anything more about it than that. The Cayman Penny Blue. So I'll take the bidding at $1 million, please. $1 million. $1 million. $1.5 million. $2 million. $2 million. $2.5 million. $2.5 million. $3 million. $3 million. $3.5 million. $4 million. $4 million. $4.5 million. $5 million. $5 million. $5.5 million. $6 million. $6 million. $6 million. $6.5 million. $7 million. $7 million. $7.5 million. $7.5 million. $8 million. $8 million. $8 million. $8 million. $8 million back. Thank you. And now, lot 175, another Cayman Blue. Anyone?
First class stamps are to go up to 12p. That's 2p for postage and 10p for storage.
Air safety. In new regulations put into force today, the Federal Aviation Authority have withdrawn 20% of all aeroplanes and put them out to stud.
Do go on.
Well, the lights went out first, and then the no smoking and the fasten seatbelt sign came on, and then everything just dropped, really.
Now, it was after 3 weeks without food that you finally decided that you had to...
Yes. We put it off for as long as we possibly could.
It was just essential, you know, for survival. Food was essential, and so we had a couple of meetings. I think if it had not been a total vote in favour, that we would have a...
Yeah.
And who took the lead, if that isn't an unfair question?
We all did.
But mainly me. I was the hungriest.
I believe you prayed.
We all did. Before...
Please do go on if it's not too painful.
So, well, I had a pocket knife, and I went into the aeroplane, and I brought some back.
And what did you eat first?
I don't remember. I don't.
The baby gherkins.
Yeah, it was the baby gherkins.
And then the individual cheese portion. And then the ham. And it still had a little tin baby pear on it. And finally, the puddings.
And how did you feel after you'd eaten the airline food?
But it was our only chance, you know?
I mean, we'd already eaten the other passengers.